Hey, Falcons fans. Are you starting to question whether our receiving core has what it takes to carry us through a grueling season? Could the slow start from Darnell Mooney and the quiet production from Ray McCloud signal a deeper issue that needs fixing now? That's the burning concern on everyone's mind as we come off our bye week. Welcome back to the channel, where we break down everything Atlanta Falcons with grit and passion. Today, we're diving into the latest Falcons mailbag, addressing your biggest questions about our wide receiver depth, the status of Mooney, and whether a trade, like targeting Jakobi Meyers, is in the cards. We got a lot to unpack, so let's get right to it. Let's kick things off with the elephant in the room, our wide receiver situation, which many of you have flagged as the weakest link on this roster. Bill C. from Griffin, Georgia, asked if the Falcons might make a trade for a wideout soon, given Mooney's injury and underwhelming performance last season, or if a practice squad player like Nick Nash could be elevated. Del W. from York, Nebraska, doubled down, pushing for an aggressive move to acquire a top complimentary receiver like Jakobi Meyers to take pressure off Bijan Robinson. And David H. from Marshalltown, Iowa, brought up Ray McCloud's quiet 2025, wondering if he's making an impact we're not seeing. These are valid concerns, especially after Mooney's slow start, averaging just 7 receptions for 79 yards on 16 targets since his Week 2 debut, and McCloud's modest 6 catches for 64 yards on 14 targets through 4 games. With fans hungry for answers, let's dive into the state of our passing game and see if panic is warranted. First, let's address Mooney. There's no sugarcoating it. His production isn't where we'd hoped after nearly hitting 1,000 yards in his first year with Atlanta, missing all of training camp due to a shoulder injury, coupled with limited reps alongside Michael Penix Jr. Set him up for a sluggish start. Add in a recent hamstring issue, and it's no surprise he's not firing on all cylinders. But here's the thing. It's only been 4 games, and the passing attack showed real life in Week 4 against the Washington Commanders, with Drake London and Bijan Robinson both eclipsing 100 receiving yards and Kyle Pitts adding 70. That performance suggests the aerial game is starting to click. Even if Mooney hasn't found his groove yet, the consensus from team insiders is clear. Don't write him off. Expecting him to be 100% right out of the gate after 0 preseason prep isn't realistic. Patience is key. This group needs time to gel, especially with a young quarterback like Penix finding his rhythm. Now, what about McCloud? Fans like David H. have noticed his lack of splash plays, and statistically, he's not far off from Mooney with 6 receptions for 64 yards. But let's put this in context. The Falcons' passing game struggled in 3 of the first 4 contests, only exploding against Washington. Last season, over the final 3 games, McCloud hauled in 8 passes for 98 yards on 12 targets from Penix, a sign of chemistry that could reemerge as the offense heats up. The raw yardage numbers for all our receivers are down because Penix and the team haven't connected on many deep shots until recently. With the Week 4 breakout as evidence of potential, it's reasonable to expect McCloud's targets and production to climb as Penix settles in. Like with Mooney, it's too early to sound the alarm. On the topic of trades or practice squad promotions, let's tackle Bill CS and Del WS suggestions. A move for someone like Jakobi Meyers, a reliable WR2 with the Raiders, sounds tempting on paper, especially to balance the offense and ease the load on Robinson. But here's the counterpoint. Do we really need to take pressure off Bijan? As highlighted in the mailbag, Robinson is the NFC Offensive Player of the Month for September, leading all players with 584 scrimmage yards, 2 touchdowns, and multiple 100-yard games in both rushing and receiving. He's forced 24 missed tackles for Will McFadden, proving he's the most elusive player in the league right now. If anything, Robinson is this offense, thriving under the spotlight. Why fix what isn't broken? As for elevating someone like Nick Nash from practice squad, while his college stats are impressive, he lacks the NFL experience and system familiarity of London, Mooney, McCloud, or even Cordero Hodge. He's not being held back. He's just not needed yet. The Falcons could call up Nash or Chris Blair for depth on game day if injuries pile up, but there's no urgent gap to fill. Let's zoom out and look at the bigger picture. The passing game's Week 4 performance against the Commanders shows what this unit can be when it's rolling. London and Pitts are legitimate weapons, Robinson is a dual-threat monster, and both Mooney and McLeod have the potential to contribute as Penix grows more comfortable. Trading for a receiver like Myers would cost draft capital or cap space, resources better saved for other needs, like secondary depth or future roster building. The mailbag response nails it. If the offense is starting to hum, why make a drastic change? 4 games isn't enough to judge this group, especially with the injury setbacks and a developing quarterback. Let's give them a chance to build chemistry before hitting the panic button. Here's where I stand. I'm with the insiders on this one. No trade, no practice squad elevation just yet. Mooney and McLeod deserve time to find their footing. And with Robinson carrying the load so effectively, the urgency for a new receiver isn't there. Penix's growth is the real key. If he keeps progressing like he did in Week 4, the targets will spread naturally and our depth will look fine. I'm not dismissing the idea of a trade down the line if injuries worsen or production stalls. But right now, patience feels like the smarter play. As we wrap this up, let's reflect on the potential of this offense. Picture Penix hitting his stride, Mooney shaking off the rust, and McLeod emerging as a clutch option, all while Robinson continues to dazzle. That's the vision I'm holding on to. But I want to know, do you think our receiver depth is a real problem, or are you willing to wait and see with Mooney and McLeod? That's the debate I'm tossing to you. Drop your takes in the comments. Are you pushing for a trade like Jacoby Myers, or do you trust this group to step up? I'm eager to hear your thoughts. And if this mailbag breakdown got you fired up about the Falcons' potential, hit that like button to show some support. We've got more Atlanta updates coming your way, so stay tuned. Until next time, let's keep believing and rise up.